message. He has more than 50 publications in the area of high performance integrated circuits and emerging semiconductor technologies. He has also authored 8 technical books useful for the research in the field of data circuit design and also published few patents in the field of technology. I, on the behalf of organizing committee of this FDP and Mahila Engineering College Ajmer, welcome you, sir, for this session. Let me introduce the audience and beneficiaries of your talk. Sir, there are more than 100 participants in this FDP who have joined from almost all parts of India, from Tripura to Rajasthan, as well as from Kerala to Jammu and Kashmir. I hope that all the participants will surely gain a deep knowledge and will able to explore IoT in the field of medical science. So from here onwards, the session is yours, sir.
Okay, thank you, Gaurav. I hope I'm clearly audible to everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So now I'm going to share my PPT. So I hope slide is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
And it is also moving.
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. So now let me start with this thing that today I'm going to discuss about the use or application of Internet of Things in medical sciences. So there are so many instances which are happening in our life, like just imagine that suppose if you want to know about location of your kids, you came home and you're not finding your kids, but you want to locate them, you want to see where they are. So if suppose some electronic gadget is there, which is a wearable kind of thing, which is there with your kids, certainly you can have that opportunity by just typing or asking Google, where are my kids, and you got location of your kids or a visual displayed showing your kids. Certainly your problem is solved. Fine. Similarly, if suppose you want to monitor health of your parents, you are not at home, you are somewhere away, and you want to monitor the health. So if suppose some gadget is there, some wristwatch kind of thing is there with your parents, and that is going to give you the signals in your mobile phone if suppose something is there. So in your mobile, if you are able to see the ECG, pulse rate, and other health related data of your parents, certainly you will be free and you will feel free to move around the world without taking any tension that your parents are safe or not. But if an elderly person faces some health problem while sleeping at night, this may be not only with the elderly person, this may happen to any person. Nowadays, cardiac arrest is a very, you can say it's a disease, but it's a very instantaneous kind of disease which occurs and suddenly the person demise. So if suppose while sleeping, a person, if suppose his heart rate or some other problems occur in the night, so it is not possible to call the doctor immediately. In that case, if suppose you have any kind of alarming type of device which can give you the signal that your heart rate is beyond some normal, then that is going to save the life of the person. Fine. So there are so many instances occurred in the past that Apple Watch, which was there in the hand of the person, and that saved 61-year-old Indian man's life who was located in Indore, and while sleeping, his pulse rate become beyond normal, and he got some indications. So he just called the doctor, and his life was saved. Right? Same if a person faces some health problem while driving in the midway, and you are much away from the city, and suddenly you are facing some problem. If suppose some wearable kind of device is there in your hand, or somewhere you have in your attached with the body, and that if suppose gives a signal to a distant hospital or nearby hospital, and suddenly that hospital team rushes to you and saves your life. If suppose this kind of thing is there, certainly that is good for us, fine. So it just this thing happened latest. A 78-year-old man was driving, and suddenly he became unconscious, and he stopped his car uh, on the road, you can say beside the road, and but he was not feeling well. So the fall detection alarm which was there in the Apple Watch signaled nearby hospitals, and the team rushed to him and he was saved, right? So if these kind of things are there, are possible, these kind of wearable gadgets or the gadgets which can be attached to our life, if they are there, then obviously a person can be saved. What if a person gets alarm about high heart rate while running? Suppose if some of you are running or walking lover. So sometimes it may happen that while running, your heartbeat is approaching to a threshold level. What if it reaches beyond some threshold level? In that case, if you get the alarm, certainly you can save your life. Fine. Otherwise, there may be some problem of cardiac arrest or some other problem may occur. So in that case, it is good if facility, if some alarming and it alarms you that your heart rate is beyond the threshold limit. Right? The same thing happened. Apple Watch reportedly saved the life of 25-year-old man, and he got the indication that while running his heart rate is beyond normal. So he approached towards the hospital, and he was actually saved. Even though the watch may have the facility to report to the nearby hospitals too, right? So IoT wearables basically, or you can say, assist firefighters with the situational awareness. It means in suppose a building, firefighters are moving inside, but they are not having any idea about the building. Inside the building, and they need to rush, they need to find, and they have to survive also. They have to take care of the persons who are there. So if suppose some IoT devices are there which are attached with the Wi-Fi camera, which are attached with the sensors, and those devices are clearly giving signals to the firefighters, then obviously the work for the firefighters becomes easier, right? So a South African startup released a wearable panic button that connects to a control center. Therefore, staff members receive details about a user's medical condition, emergency contacts, and estimated location. So IoT, you can think of, is a very life-saving type of devices, which can save you in a very emergency type of situation. If suppose any female is moving, and suppose some threat is there, some problem is there, and the wearable device is alarming to the nearby police station or some known persons, obviously there will not be any problem. Fine, there will not be any accident then. A high-tech bracelet that detects around 85% of epileptic seizures occurring during the night provides diabetic alarm or alert system. So if suppose while sleeping or while at any location, if suppose some high sugar level is there, then certainly this device is going to alarm you, or this may also report to the nearby centers that this person is facing some problem, and by this way the person can be saved. The EVA device, for example, uses thermal mapping and artificial intelligence technology to examine the breast in a non-invasive and a pain-free way. Right? Similarly, you can see the Internet of Things can save around 50,000 lives in a year. This was basically an article published in which it was claimed that if suppose we can have a facility to incorporate more and more IoT devices, then certainly in a year we can save more than 50,000 persons. Fine. Okay. Using IoT sensors to assess the levels of the pollution, other adverse environmental changes in both the air. Fine. So by this way, you can see that IoT devices can play a significant role towards the environmental mapping or environmental changes. Similarly, besides contributing to the life-saving efforts for humans, you can also, IoT also can play a significant role in wildlife conservation. It means animals are tagged with some IoT devices, and with the help of the IoT devices, their health condition, their location, and so many things can be monitored. And if suppose some problem is there, they can be immediately saved also. So can anybody tell me any example of Internet of Things? This is just an open discussion. Anybody, any device you know, which is an example of Internet of Things? Yes, please. I want this lecture to be interactive too. It should not be that only one-side conversation is there. If suppose you can also participate, obviously that will also help everybody. There may be few things which I don't know also. But if suppose you can tell me, obviously I will learn too, learn from you. Any example?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I think Alexa from Amazon is the example.
Very fine. Alexa, correct. Alexa and Google Dot. These are the devices which are an example of IoT. Yes, very fine. Any other example? Smart home. Very good. Miss Mridula, can you elaborate what can be there in the smart home? What devices we can have in the smart home that our home will be called as smart? Yes, any other? Yes, various sensors can be deployed. Yes, what type of sensors? Any idea? Anybody? It is not the one person is to be targeted. Anybody can tell me, yes, these type of sensors are useful, which should be installed in the home so that our home will become a smart home. Motion and voice sensor, very fine. Very fine. Motion and voice sensors that can be incorporated. And when they are connected, smart refrigerators, very fine, smart lights has to be there. And those devices or sensors can be, yes, smart thermometers. So those devices can be monitored from the remote, or they can be remotely controlled also. So if suppose, yes, we can recognize activities of the resident also. If suppose we have sensors installed, smartwatch, that is also an example of IoT. But there is some difference. We'll talk later that there is some difference between wireless sensor network and IoT. In case of WSN, all smart device with network. Yes, that is the difference. WSN is basically the backbone of the IoT. But when WSN is connected with the network to transmit and receive the signals also, then it becomes IoT. Fine. Okay, so that is very good. I just come back to the presentation now.
Can we say that, excuse me, sir, can we say that WSN with edge computing can become IoT?
Basic thing is there that we should have sensors in the lowest level, which should be able to detect the signals. Now, after that, it's your job to convert the data into the wisdom, to convert the data or to transmit the data so that it can be remotely controlled. Fine. So data processing has to be there. For that, you may have big data, or for that, you may have different type of data processing technologies. But this should be, if suppose you want Internet of Things, it means the things to be connected through the internet, through the network. Processing is inherent, that has to be there. Am I right, Kuldeep?
Yes, yes, but I am asking about the edge computing. If existing WSN network is connected using edge computing, then it can become the backbone of IoT, or it can itself work as IoT.
Yes, very true. That is, I am saying that if suppose you say computing is there, computing is what? That is the data processing. Fine. So data processing is necessary. That what type of input we are getting and what type of output we want, that has to be done by the processing unit. But that processing may be done remotely also. It means that may be termed as thin client and thick client technology. That just take up an example that you are logging in to a system, and that system is connected with the internet to a remote server. Now the password processing may be done at the local level inside the machine also, and that can be done at the server side also. So if it is done on the local machine, then it is a thin client, and when it is done on the server side, then it is a thick client. Fine. So processing is inherent, is required. So if you are saying computing is required, but when we are saying Internet of Things, then all those devices should be connected through the internet. Processing may be done on the local or on the server side. So edge computing is there, but if internet is not there, then you cannot say that this is Internet of Things.
Right.
Fine. Okay, Kuldeep. Thanks. Thanks for asking good question.
Thanks.
So just take up an example. Already so many examples are there. So many examples are conveyed by you people. So a light bulb that can be switched on using a smartphone app. That is an example of Internet of Things. You are there anywhere in the world, but if you are able to turn on or turn off the light at your home, and this light bulb and smartphone is connected with the internet, then that is an example of Internet of Things. Fine. So basically in this overall lecture, we are going to discuss about what is Internet of Things. Basically we are going to, there is some slight problem. We are going to discuss about the Internet of Medical Things, and we need to discuss about the application in medical science. So this slide was modified, but I think so wrong source I've taken. So first question is, what is Internet of Things? You all are very good actually, and you already know so many things about this Internet of Things, but I have to cover this also. So Internet of Things, IoT, is a seamless connected network of embedded objects and devices in which machine-to-machine communication without human intervention is possible using standard and interoperable communication protocol. Fine. So basic thing is there that we have a connected network of things, and they are connected with the internet, with the help of internet, and they are communicating with each other even though human intervention is there or not. Fine. And they are going to use some standard type of protocol. Protocol is nothing but an agreement between the communicating parties, and also these are interoperable. Interoperable means that all over the world, the protocol is same. It is not like that in India we have different protocol and in Europe we have different protocol. In that case, this will not be interoperable, right? So we should have some specific defined standard as well as interoperable communication protocol. So various things are there. It means anytime connection we have to have, we should have any place connection, or we should have anything connection. It means everything is controlled remotely by the human, by the device, right? Anytime connection, whether you are on the move, you are indoor or outdoor, night or day, anytime it is connected. Any place connection means whether you are on the move, outdoor, indoor, or you are sitting in front of the PC, yes, it is connected. Or anything connection. It means this connection may be between the PCs, human to human connection, not using PC or any other device, human to thing connection, we're using a generic type of equipments, and thing to thing connection. This all comes under the category of the Internet of Things. So with the help of IoT, we have anytime connection, any place connection, and anything connection. Fine. So IoT, basically it was first coined by Kevin Ashton in 1999. It means this word, this term was actually given by Kevin Ashton first. According to him, computer and internet are dependent on human things for information. Basically, input is always given by the humans. The problem is people have limited time, attention, and accuracy. So all of which means that they are not very good at capturing the data about things in the real world. If suppose I ask you that you're moving on the road, and when you return back, if I ask you, have you noticed each and everything? How many people crossed nearby you? Are you able to recognize every person? No, because that is the limitation of our mind. Our mind is a very cognitive type of device, you can say, that it knows the limitation of the memory. So not everything it is going to store. If suppose you are not taking care of something, obviously it will not come into your memory. So when you reach to your home, you are not remembering each and everything and you cannot recall the data. But when you have installed one camera, anything coming in front of that camera, that will be recorded and you can just remind it or just view it anytime. Right? The solution is empowering devices to gather accurate, reliable, and timely information on their own. So this is termed as Internet of Things, not humans. It is not Internet of humans, it is Internet of Things. And this was the published article by Kevin Ashton in June 22, 2009. So basically we can say the founder of Internet of Things is Kevin Ashton. So in 1999, the term Internet of Things was used by Kevin Ashton during his work at Procter & Gamble, which became widely accepted. In 2004, the term was mentioned in famous publications like Guardian, Boston Globe, and the Scientific American. In 2005, UN International Telecommunication Union, ITU, published its first report on this topic. In 2008, the Internet of Things was born actually, because earlier the basic problem which was there with this Internet of Things was the standard. Because we were not having any specific type of standard for this kind of devices, because we have plenty of devices, different devices we want to be connected. So for radio we have different, for satellite we have different protocol, for other communication devices we have different protocols. So how to collab them and frame a one set of protocol, or how all those devices come into the one standard. That was the basic problem with this Internet of Things earlier. After that, the standard protocols and some standard was briefed and defined. So this was born actually on 2008. In 2011, Gartner, the market research company, included the Internet of Things technology in their research. The basic first question is how IoT works. So if suppose we say that there are some different levels and one by one different devices are there which are there to formulate the Internet of Things, right? If we remove any of them, certainly the IoT will not work. So first is there, that is sensors and devices. So different devices and the sensors are incorporated in the area you are designing to get the information. And after that, those sensors are connected with the data processing unit. Now that data processing unit may be on the local area or maybe on the remote area. So that data processing unit is going to collect the information and process it and give the output to the user interface. That user interface may be a mobile phone, that may be monitor, that may be anything, where the user can view the overall desired result, right? So these are the 4 different devices which has to be there for the IoT to work, right? The sensors, connectivity, data processing, and user interface. This data processing unit, it can be on the field and that can be on the server side, right? Okay, so first we talk about the sensors or devices. So sensors or devices are a key component that helps you to collect live data from the surrounding environment. All this data may have various levels of complexities. So you can think of that a camera is installed in some traffic area. That camera is taking the snaps or recording the event, and that event is stored in some hard disk or some memory. Now basically you are interested, or you can say the traffic department is interested only on that moment when somebody is not following the rules, right? So data is continuously stored, but only specific data is important to be resourced. Fine. Whenever some person is not following the rule, that information is important. Not all data, but we have to continuously gather the data. So various level of complexities will be there with the data you are storing in your devices. It could be a simple temperature monitoring sensors, or it may be in the form of video feed. Sensors are everywhere. Different type of sensors are there. According to your need, you can choose the sensor, deploy it, connect it with the internet, and process and visualize the desired information. The sensors used to diagnose, monitor, or treat the diseases in medical domain are known as medical sensors. We in this lecture, we are basically concentrated or interested towards the medical science. So first of all, we have to learn what type of different sensors which are incorporated or used in the medical field. So you can see in this figure that different wearable devices can be there, different sensors can be incorporated in the body to get the different type of signal, whether that is EEG or ECG or the glucose monitoring system, blood pressure, heart rate, or basically the acceleration, movement, or orientation, or the heart rate. So many different type of points are there which are there in our body, where the different type of sensors can be installed. It can be in a touching mode, it can be in a wearable mode, or it can be implanted inside also. So medical sensors, if we talk about, then there are some stringent requirements. We cannot use any type of sensors in the medical field. So these type of sensors should comply the safety standard IEC 60601-1. Any sensor which is not complying with this standard will not be used in the medical science. They should also comply with statutory specification, including other enforcement and standards for quality management, risk management, usability, and functional safety in order to ensure that given device functions correctly with response to given inputs. Fine. It should deliver precise measurement with high accuracy. It should not be like that the heart rate is around 72 and it is giving the rate of 120 or 90. Because in that case, if the equipment is not going to give you the proper output or not giving you the accurate result, certainly it is very hard for the doctor to monitor it, to give prescribe the medicines to. The measurement should be highly stable and quick with fast response time. This is not even true for the medical sensors. It is true for all the sensors that sensitivity, responsivity, as well as the response time, everything has to be good. They should provide digital outputs such as I2C in order to connect with the microcontrollers and the microprocessors. If any of the sensor, even though most of the sensors are analog in nature, so if suppose you have a sensor which is analog in nature, you have to use A to D converter at the output of this sensor, and then this digital output will be given to the microcontroller or microprocessors. If suppose you are measuring some temperature in some turbine or somewhere in the industry, so you have to just implant one temperature sensor in a desired location. That temperature sensor is continuously providing the temperature, environmental temperature, and the device A to D converter is there, which is converting the analog input to the digital, and then digital output is given to the Arduino, or you can say some microcontroller, and that microcontroller is going to decide that whether the temperature is below threshold level or beyond threshold level. Accordingly, it is going to alarm, or it is going to provide the signals to the server. So different type of sensors which are used in medical science are, number one, the temperature probes. They are used for body temperature measurement, and this type of sensors helps in providing better medication and treatment of the patients. They're also termed as thermometers or smart thermometers. We should have some force sensors, and these are basically used in kidney dialysis machine, just to measure the flow of the blood force which is given to this sensor, so that is going to monitor, and accordingly the things can be controlled. There can be airflow sensors used in anesthesia delivery systems, laparoscopy, heart pumps, etc. There should be some pressure sensors used in infusion pump, sleep apnea machines. Most of the pressure sensors are integrated with the embedded system. It means they are connected with some microcontroller or microprocessors to decide also, to process the data as well as make the decisions also. They're also used for medical diagnosis, blood pressure monitoring, infusion pumps, etc. There can be implantable pacemakers too. It is a real-time embedded sensor system which delivers a synchronized rhythmic electric stimulus to the heart muscle in order to maintain effective cardiac rhythm. It means basically it is going to check the level of the heart rate. There may be oximeter during this pandemic. Basically, oximeter is used widely all over the world to measure the fraction of oxygen saturation. Also, it is going to tell you about the hemoglobin, oxygen saturated hemoglobin level relative to the total hemoglobin count in the blood. So these are the sensors. Another sensor is glucometer. It basically measures the approximate blood glucose concentration. So that is very much good to use for the diabetic persons. Magnetometer, it specifies direction of the user by examining the changes in the Earth's magnetic field around the user. Electrocardiogram sensor, it is basically measure the electrical activity of the heart, and it is also called as ECG sensor. There can be heart rate sensor, there can be electroencephalogram sensor, there can be electromyogram sensor, and there can be respiratory rate sensors. So these are different type of sensors which are widely used in making the medical type of devices which are used in the hospitals, which can be also used in the home also. There are so many devices which are used at home, like thermometers, like blood pressure measurement, like oximeters and all. So there are so many devices. Now they are coming back to home also. So the people are taking advantage of measuring time to time, and if suppose they get some alert, then certainly they can rush to the doctors. So next thing after the sensor is basically the connectivity. So all the collected data is sent to the cloud infrastructure. The sensors should be connected to the cloud using various mediums of the communication. Cloud is nothing but the server. These communication mediums include mobile, satellite network, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, WAN, etc. So different type of mediums you can have. With the help of these mediums, the sensors are going to transmit the information to some remote server or remote location. Then there will be the data processing system, and data processing system is going to collect the data which is coming from the cloud, and its software inside that is going to perform the processing on the gathered data. And this process can be just checking the different parameters, and parameters like temperature, reading on devices like AC or heater or any other kind of devices. So basically it is collecting the data, and then it is going to process it, and accordingly the output will be given to the handheld device or some monitoring system. However, it can sometimes also be very complex, like identifying the objects, like using computer vision on video. So different type of image processing algorithms or video processing algorithms are also used during this data processing mechanism. After the data processing, basically for data processing, we can have the different type of devices which are there in the market, like Arduino microcontrollers are there. So basically these microcontrollers, this is nothing but 8051 microcontroller, but it is on board with the power supply, USB port, and to communicate with the PC and Atmel microcontroller chip. So all these things are embedded on one particular device. So different input output ports are there. So you need not to worry about so many things. It means when suppose you have to connect any 8051 IC with the outside world, then you have to worry about so many things. Then you have to worry about different things which are there, like at least you should have the crystal oscillator, you should have some resistance and capacitance, reset and power supply mechanism to be outsourced. But in this case, only you should have one device, and you have to just put the input, get the output, and you need not to worry much about this. Fine. It is popularly used to process the data after receiving from the various sensors or receiving from the cloud. It receives data from the various input output, digital and analog ports with the help of digital and analog ports, and it can process it also according to the program you are going to write on this. So you can use the Python language, you can use the normal assembly language also. There is no restriction, but most of the time Python language is used to program this Arduino. It provides output to the machine or transmit it through the internet. You can also use the Raspberry Pi. So this is nothing but a mini computer with a real-time operating system installed in it. So it is nothing but a simple computer you can have. So if suppose Arduino or microcontrollers are not sufficient to process the data, then you can move towards the Raspberry Pi, and this is basically going to give you the better processing capabilities. It is also utilized to process the data coming from various sensors, the cloud, or so many different locations. And programming is also done using the Python language in it. It can also store some data for the temporary uses because it is also having some inbuilt memory. And the final is a user interface. It means after processing the data, there will be the user interface, and in the user interface, basically the result of everything will be displayed, or you can say the desired result will be displayed. The information needs to be available to the end user in some way, which can be achieved by triggering alarms on their phones or sending them notification through email or some text messages. The user sometimes might need an interface which actively checks their IoT system. So various type of softwares you can install in your mobile phone, and with the help of that, you can monitor so many things already with this mobile. For example, the user has a camera installed in his home. He wants to access video recording on all the feeds which are there with the help of the web server. So user interface is the final end device which has to be there with the human or some processing system, and then according to the alarm, then further processing will be done. Advantages of the IoT. So if we talk about what are the different advantages, so it is going to have ability to access information from anywhere at any time on any device. Improved communication between the connected electronic devices, transferring data packets over a connected network, saving time and money. And it is also used in automating tasks, helping to improve the quality of the business services and reducing the need for the human intervention. If we talk about the IoT timeline, we will say that the first devices which were also termed as IoT, Internet of Things, were in 1990s, where we were using the devices which are installed for the navigation and the communication purposes in aeroplanes and the satellites. After that, in 2000, cell towers were established. So with the help of them, different utility meters were there, home alarm systems were there, which are there in different locations installed. And in 2010, if we talk about, we have different watches, televisions, refrigerator, access points, which are connected with the internet, and they can be remotely monitored. And accordingly, if suppose wish, we can also control them. So if we say what are the driver of IoT connectivity, so initially it was satellite, after that the cellular system, then the Wi-Fi, and nowadays different sensors or different devices are connected using Bluetooth, Zigbee, or ANT systems. Basic importance is there that range was higher when we talk about the satellite communication. It is very much less in the case of Bluetooth, but the important thing is there while designing the IoT devices, that is the power consumption. So sensors or the different devices which are used in IoT, the main stress is always there to have the least power consumption. So many different type of mechanisms or different type of software or different type of protocols are developed so that the devices should consume the minimum power. Right? If suppose any device is there, any sensor is there, obviously it requires some power supply to function. So when the sensor is not required, in that case the sensor should go to the sleep mode. It should not transmit anything, because most of the power consumption will be there whenever the device is transmitting or receiving something. So whenever there is no requirement, certainly the sensor is turned off, and whenever the requirement is there, then it will turn on the transmitter and the receiver. So in most of the cases, so many different protocols or schemes are made such that the sensors are utilized to have the least power consumption. Basic thing is there that in case of IoT, basically we are collecting the data from different sensors from different locations, and then we have to process the data so that it turns from reality to wisdom. The more data that is created, the more knowledge and wisdom people can obtain. So IoT dramatically increases the amount of data available to the process. So if suppose we talk about the reality, so many data is available over there, but that is messy and disorganized. Then we take some data in a form such that this is some desired type of data, and then from that data we take out the information. Information means that the data which is of concern. Then from that information we increase the knowledge, we organize the information in a desired manner, and then that knowledge will give us the wisdom. It means that knowledge can be applied somewhere to control the things in a better and efficient manner. So basically with the help of IoT, we have better possibility to take the information, take the data from reality to wisdom. Difference between WSN and IoT, we already talked about that. In IoT, in case of WSN, we have a connected network of the sensors, but those sensors are local sensors, and they are not somewhere connected with the help of internet. They are locally organized and they are locally monitored. Like suppose one farmer is there and he has installed some humidity and temperature sensor inside in the field, and then he is trying to apply on and off the motor, water supply motor, so that he can, if suppose the humidity in the clay is beyond some below some level, then motor will start, the draining will be there, then watering will be there, and if suppose humidity is up to the mark, then certainly the motor will be off. So that is a wireless sensor network, right? But if suppose we are trying to remotely monitor the things of different fields, then certainly we need to connect this local network to the cloud or to the server, and then we require some internet or some communication medium for that, and that is termed, then it will be termed as IoT. So IoT is a community of bodily objects managed and monitored over the internet, just as in its application. You will stumble upon the monitoring of physical parameters, but preferred results are little different. IoT is about machine to machine, and it's far gathering that bringing smartness into the daily gadgets. This is the IoT architecture. You can see that different type of sensors are there, like temperature, humidity, pressure, motion, and illumination sensors. And then those sensors are providing the information to the gateway or the framework. Then that information is moving towards the server, cloud server, using the wired or wireless medium. It is not necessary that every time we should use the wireless medium only. If required, we can use the wired medium too. So that information is moving towards the cloud server, That server is going to do some data processing technique, use some data processing technique, and then the desired result will be displayed on the device, on the end device. That may be mobile or that may be any other electronic gadget. If suppose we talk about the protocol architecture, you can see that the protocol architecture of this IoT is not a very organized way of protocol architecture, as we have seen in TCP/IP, as we have seen in the mobile communication, or in some other different type of communication, or like Ethernet also. So if suppose you remember already that in case of 7-layer architecture, it was the application layer, then presentation, the session, then transport layer, then network, then data link, and then the physical layer. So 7-layer architecture is there, and in case of TCP/IP also there can be the application, then TCP layer, IP layer, and physical layer. So different type of layer architectures are there, and they are well defined because the devices which are used, they are fixed. But in case of IoT, the devices are unlimited. Any type of device, if it is connected through the internet, now it is IoT. So in that case, you can see that the architecture is not properly managed. Devices which are coming into the category of the IoT, they have to follow the different paths. Like in case of constrained application protocol, or it may lie under the message query, telemetry, transport for sensor network, or it may lie under the category of the advanced message queuing protocol. So in case of application layer, we have different possibilities of the protocols like COAP, DDS, HTTP, HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, REST, and so many different type of protocols are there. So devices which are connected with the IoT, they may lie in under the one of the category of the application layer. In the network layer, we may have different possibilities, that it is multicast DNS, or it is DNS service discovery, or it may be routing protocol for low power and lossy networks. In the adaptation layer, there may be possibility that this is lying under the IP version 4 or IP version 6, or it is lying under the IP version over low power, the wireless personal area networks. Then there will be the data link layer, and in data link layer we have one common protocol, that is IEEE 802.154. And then physical layer also have the different type of possibility, because devices are different. Some devices are transmitting the information using the wired network, some sensors are transmitting using the wireless network, some are transmitting the messages, some are transmitting some different type of information. So somewhere the physical layer is also different. So IoT protocol architecture came into the existence after a very, very rigorous effort, and it is not a very well-defined type of protocol architecture. It is also same as the Bluetooth. In case of Bluetooth also, there is the same problem, because any device can be connected with the Bluetooth network using only the Bluetooth module. So the device may have the different type of signal transmission. So Bluetooth module should support all kind of devices. So IoT protocol architecture is always also very complex type of architecture like Bluetooth. If suppose we talk about the perspective, then if we want IoT to accelerate, we have to look towards the different parameters, like the microcontroller price and performance parameter. We should also look towards the wireless connectivity pricing. We should always concern about the application development. We should concern about the cloud-based software infrastructure, and we also look towards the sensor advancement, because sensors are the backbone somewhere, because we are very much relying on these. So IoT in healthcare, if we talk about, the Internet of Things allows setting up a centralized network of interconnected devices that can generate and exchange data within a single framework. All that data can also be tracked and gathered in real time, which provides a passive accumulation of the analytics materials. In terms of enhancement for the medical facilities, this means that a regular hospital can be turned into the smart hospital. Even though we can also have the possibility that our home can also convert into a smart hospital. If suppose we can have all type of possibilities, all type of electronic gadgets which are connected with the internet and that are installed at our home, that can also easily transported into the smart hospital. It means any building can be turned into the smart hospitals. So if we talk about IOMT healthcare model, then there will be different layers. So first will be the sensor layer. This is nothing but a physical layer. It means information will be gathered with the help of the sensors. That information will be transported using the different type of possible networks in network layer. Then that is basically used, or you can say is going to use the internet to connect to the remote locations, and then there will be a service layer. So in the service layer, there can be the ambulance, there can be patient monitoring system, emergency team, hospital, doctors or nurses. They are there to serve the people which are in a problematic condition and they are there in a remote location. IoT can help us to achieve first the true patient orientation. So seamlessly information gathering for seamless care. It can also provide you the quality in care delivery. That is, give the right treatment to the right patient at the right time and in the right place with the regularity and the reliability. We have not been able to do it till now using our only traditional paper-based records and the communication. But in future, we expect that everything will become online and every information can be tracked. It means a person, if he is born to death, every information will be somewhere allocated and that can be accessed by the doctors or the experts to locate the disease in him. IoT progress. Advances in sensor and connectivity technology allow devices to collect, record, and analyze data that was not accessible before. So different parameters are there. Implantable sensors for IOMT. We talk about IOMT means Internet of Medical Things. So there can be smartphone where you can install a software and the ECG can be monitored. There can be smart watches which are connected with the mobile phones, and you can track the information from those applications which are installed in the mobile phone. So every company which is selling the smart watches or the bands, then it is having one software also. That software you need to install in your mobile, and with the help of connectivity, it means the watch and the mobile is connected with the help of Bluetooth. So whatever information which is gathered by the watch will be displayed on the mobile itself, and that information you can store. If suppose you are monitoring how many steps you walked today, so that information can be recorded in your mobile, and that will be recorded for long duration. You can access at any time. You can even compare that in this month how many steps you have moved in or average number of steps you have moved. There can be smart e-bottles or e-pouches in which, if suppose a person is taking regularly the pills, and if suppose he skipped one day, then that record will be displayed, and that information will be displayed on the mobile, or some alarming system can be there that today this patient has not taken any medicine, so he has to do it. Chronic disease management can be there. It means from the remote locations, doctors and different medical teams can be connected with the patient, and with the help of different IoT devices, the patient can check the data and can share it with the medical team and get the prescriptions remotely only. It means no need that doctor is moving towards or rushing towards the home and then he is going to check and give the medicine only. And there can be different remote monitoring systems. So with the help of pill camera or different type of implantation, implantable devices, there will be the transceiver that is connected with the remote location, remote hospital, and that can be done. So nowadays people are very much caring about the health. So we are very much trying to improve the health. So every day it is said that if you walk 10,000 steps, then certainly the probability of disease becomes very less. Any type of disease will not be there. I'm not saying 100%, I'm saying that yes, you can have less chances of that. So if suppose you have a device or you have a watch, you have a band on your wrist, and if suppose it is counting and automatically and giving you the data, certainly it is good. You can easily, because it is very hard to calculate or count the steps every day or throughout the day. So wellness and lifestyle monitoring, there are so many apps you can install in your mobile phone. You can purchase so many gadgets which are there, and with the help of those, you can achieve wellness and you can achieve good health. If we talk about different application, healthcare application in IoT, so different companies are working and different collaborations are made, and with the help of those collaborations, actually the devices are created or the systems are created, and with the help of those systems, actually they are continuously doing for the society. So if we talk about Aclima, this is also a IoT, Internet of Things network, or you can say system, and this is actually located in San Francisco, California, and actually in partnership with Google, the Environmental Defense Fund and University of Texas at Austin researchers. Aclima employs its mobile sensing platform to understand how cities live and breathe. Factors that affect urban air quality include transportation and energy uses as well as weather. Industry impact will be that Google recently installed Aclima sensors on all of its street view vehicles after a successful pilot program in California. Similarly, Qo is also a type of cloud platform that wirelessly connects various therapeutic devices related to the medications, activity and health for patients with the chronic conditions. Tools for mobile and web allows healthcare providers and caregivers to see trends and more effectively respond to the data. Users can also get personalized tips on dealing with the condition and have opportunity to anonymously participate in the research activities or the research studies. Similarly, Pfizer and IBM collaborated to make a IoT kind of system in which the effectiveness of Parkinson drugs and they can make necessary dosage adjustment in real time while enhancing the doctor-patient communication. So industry impact will be very high in this case, because in case of Parkinson disease, hopefully so many people know about it, patients do not know what to do. So if gadgets are there implanted on the body or wearables are there, so the doctor will be knowing the condition of the patient in real time, all the time, and he can gather the data as well as he can monitor the patient. He can also maintain and change the dosage, and accordingly the patient can be cured. Spree Health is also a type of wearable loop device which delivers the monitoring power of a hospital bed in the form factor of fitness tracker. Among its capabilities are the facilitating of continuous vital sign data monitoring, as well as the ability to monitor patient status via the cloud and glean actionable insight that is for better care. Similarly, 8 is also a type of system which is installed in your mattress, and it is going to check the sleep and environment around the person. And this app analyzes the data, it collects the information, and then sends that information to your smartphone, so you can determine how ideal sleep temperature, or you can define whether check whether you had a sound sleep or not. The app can also integrate with the smart lights or door locks also. So different type of facilities are coming in our daily life, and if suppose we can have these kind of facilities, certainly we can monitor the things. So if suppose a wearable device or the watch is there, and then it is going to tell you that whole of the night you had a sound sleep of this much hour. For this time, your heartbeat was not regular or it was regular. So many different data it can provide you. Obviously, that is a very helpful thing you can have in real time. There is another application that is Bedit. So Apple-owned Bedit aims to improve sleep quality with its app-driven and Bluetooth-connected sleep monitor that tracks breathing, heart rate, snoring, and sleep environment. This is very important, or you can say funny thing, that if suppose you are snoring, actually you don't know. Other persons suffer. So if suppose some device is there which can monitor whether you are snoring or not, and it gives you the data in the morning that you snored for this much amount of time, certainly you can consult your doctor and about these kind of things. This is the happiest baby type of system. Basically, it is installed in the bassinet, and the baby is sleeping inside or playing inside that bassinet. Obviously, then what will happen? It is also continuously monitoring the health of the baby, and it is also monitoring and alarming also if suppose some problem is there with the baby. GE Healthcare is also there, so they developed one AutoBed platform which can monitor up to process 80 bed requests at a time and keep track of other patients' requirement like nurse proximity. Philips E-Alert, if suppose we say, it is used to monitor the MRI performance. So Philips E-Alert is equipped with a sensor that measures the environmental factor against the certain thresholds and trigger alerts if those thresholds are exceeded. Alert can be sent by the email or text, or even integrated into the local alarm system. There is also Stanley Healthcare. So Stanley Technology facilitates real-time patient location via wireless radio frequency identification, that is RFID technology, giving providers a way to more easily monitor patients in more personalized manner that's based on. Yes, any query? So the Stanley Healthcare is also there. There is also one Honeywell Genesis Touch, keeps patient connected and with remotely located care providers that receive transmitted biometric data via patient dashboard. The GT can also host video visits, can give you the multiple provider access, and to a patient, it can also monitor the vital statistics, and it can also transmit that statistic to the medical team or the doctors, and with the help of that, the doctors can also have some video presentation, and then personally they can monitor as well as suggest to the patients. And there is R-Style Lab. So via Bluetooth, Wi-Fi or other connection, R-Style Lab software development company facilitates connectivity with an array of medical devices. Data and medical information collected via sensor reading and other methods can be used to quickly analyze health issues and diagnose the conditions and provide real-time support. So, ANSA is there. Okay, concerns and the challenges. Basically, when we talk about the IOMT or IoT, basically we have to worry about the security and the privacy of the communication. So when a sensor is going to communicate with the internet, then obviously the security and privacy is of prime importance. If suppose anybody hacks the information or changes the information, then certainly it is hazardous for the patient. Some healthcare reforms and mandates are also required to easily incorporate the IoT in the system so that so many complex problems can be solved. And also the technology adoption. It means as the technology is increasing, the hospitals, the devices need to be procured, and they have to check the abilities, right? Disadvantages are also there, that as the number of connected devices are increasing, more information is shared between the devices. The potential that a hacker could steal confidential information, that also possibility that also increases. Enterprises may eventually have to deal with the massive numbers, because as the devices are increasing, massive number of devices are there, and then massive data is coming. So obviously, processing of data, storing of data, collecting and managing of data becomes very challenging. If there is a bug in the system, it's likely that every connected device will become corrupted. That is going to give the false alarm or false type of information. That is also a big challenge. Since there is no international standard of compatibility for the IoT, it's difficult for devices for different manufacturers to communicate with each other. Because if suppose in one region, the protocol which is used in one region is not same as the protocol used in another region, so the devices made up of made to be used for IoT in these two regions will not have the interoperability. So if we talk about summary of this, all these, we can say today there are an estimated 2 million different kind of medical devices on the world market, and categorized into more than 7,000 generic devices groups. The medical device market is expected to recover and grow at a CAGR of 6.1% from 2021 and reach $603.5 billion in 2023. So all the images which are shown in here in this presentation are taken from the internet. I have not developed, frankly. I've just taken it for the presentation purpose. So the respective originators are thankfully acknowledged for permitting non-commercial use of their creations. So thank you for this, but this is not the end actually. We will have some fun also. We'll play something. Just hold on. So, okay. You have to go to the net. If you have the accessibility of the net, then suppose you are there with the laptop or with the mobile, just open your browser and write www.kahoot.it. And then you have to click on it. I have just shared this link. Here, you can just click on this link and a web page will open. And in the web page, you have to just type this game pin. Anybody participating? Okay, one. After typing the game pin, you are asked to write the username kind of thing. So you just write your name. So as soon as the persons will start joining, I will have the information here that how many persons are joined. So, okay, Street, Sasti. Okay, fine. Pin is also there. I hope so. It is visible. This is 6924350. 6924350. This pin you have to write, and then you will enter. Okay, total 5 persons. 6. I think so. There are total 86 persons online. Around 80 persons, and I want many persons to participate this quiz kind of thing. And in this, what will happen when you enter into it, then you will have every time I am going to display a question, and then you have to tick the correct color. Fine. It means if suppose there are 4 options and the correct option is there with the green color, then you have to tick the green color. Right? So find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. Only 11 persons now. Yes, encourage yourself. It is just a game. It is not going to mark anything. Only the thing is that will happen. Top 3 will be displayed on the at the end, and that depends upon that how many correct answers you have given, as well as how much fast you was. Fine. It is also very important that you can copy the question, write on the Google and get the answer, but that is going to take time, and time also will be counted here. So more time you will take, less number will be awarded to you. So yes, come on, have some fun kind of thing. It is just a quiz. It is not related with your, you can say, certificate. You just participate. So 13 persons अभी तक हुए हैं. किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम है? Just I need to check. I want more people to participate. क्या इतने ही लोग participate करेंगे? Are there some persons who are trying to participate but they are not getting how to participate in it? So simply you have to just move to this link, and in the window you have to type. Okay, DV also joined. Just give some time and we'll start surely. Meenakshi also there, Antara also participating. Good. We are getting good numbers now. So 17 persons out of 86. Yes, come on, participate. It is going to give you some fun. Yes, Dr. Aki, thanks for providing the link again. So by clicking the link, then you have to put the game pin, and then you have to write the username or nickname, and that will be displayed on the window. I hope so the window is also visible to all of you. Fine. So let us start now because we cannot wait for infinite time. So you have questions on the IoT. So first question is, what is IOMT? So you have 4 options, time 30 seconds. जितनी जल्दी आप आंसर दे सकते हो, आपको टिक करना है. जो भी ऑप्शन आपको सही लग रहा है, आप उस कलर पे टिक करेंगे. ठीक है? Yes, please do it fast. After every answer, you will get the list of 5 persons who scored the highest number. Okay, so the right answer was all of the above, and only 2 persons were correct. It's okay, no problem. So Abdul and Meenakshi got the right answer, and the marks are also presented over there. So Abdul got 786 and Meenakshi got 730. Fine. Now I'll move to the next question. What is required to create a remote patient monitoring system? So options are biosensor attached to the body, internet, transceiver, all are required. So you have to fast click the correct answer. So 12.13 answered now. Okay, good. 18% answered. 19. Good. Go on. Okay, you got 20 answers. Fine. So the correct was all are required, and 13 persons gave the correct answer. Very good. Congratulations to all. So now Meenakshi got the top position, 1365. Street, then Gaurav, then Sasti, and then Naresh. Okay, good. Next question on your screen now. An IoT network is a collection of dash devices. Signal, machine to machine, network to network, interconnected. So you have to click fast. जितनी जल्दी आप क्लिक करेंगे सही आंसर, उतने ज्यादा नंबर आपको मिलेगा. Okay, that's good. We got 19 answers, 20 answers. Wow. So the correct answer was interconnected, and 4 persons were right. So again, Meenakshi on the top, then Sasti, Street, then Gaurav and Naresh. Very good. Now we are moving to the next question. Which one of the following is not an IoT device? Not an IoT device. Amazon Echo Voice Canceller, Controller, Google Home, Nest Smoke Alarm, none of these. Fine, click the right answer. Fast. So we got 10 answers now. 16 answers. Fast. We got 18 answers, 19 answers. 1 person just moved. Okay, so the answer is none of these. Okay, all are actually the IoT device, and correct answer is none of these, and 9 people had given the correct answer. Good, very good. Congratulations. Now we see, okay, Street moved up. Good. Meenakshi on second, Gaurav, then Sasti and MRR. Oh, he moved up. Okay, now we are moving to the next question. So this is the question number 5. Which of the following is not an application of IoT? Which of the following is not an application of IoT? Smart city, Arduino, wearables, smart grid. Okay. So we got 16, 17 answers, 18 answers, 19 answers. Okay, again, one person left. Okay, so correct answer is Arduino. Actually, it is not an IoT device until unless it is connected with the internet. So it is just a standalone microcontroller. So 11 people gave the right answer, and Preet is again on top, and Sasti, then MRR, then Shilam, and then Uma. Good, very good. So now next, question number 6. What is internet? So interconnection of local area network, vast collection of different networks, a single network, and none of the mentioned. Pick your answer fast. As 17 answers, we got 18 people answered, 19 people answered. One people left, one person left. We're not getting, okay, we got 20 answers, all of them had given, and the correct option is a vast collection of different networks, and 15 persons were right. Very good, very good. Now, again, Preet on the top, then Sasti, Shivani, Jilam, and Uma. Very good. Now, next question. Which one is not an element of the IoT? People, process, security, and things. Which one is not element of IoT? Yes, we got. Oh, we are getting answers fast. We have time left, 12 seconds, and we got 18 answers, 19 answers, and we all got all 20 answers. Still time is left. Okay, let us check the answer. So the correct answer is security. Security is not an element of the IoT, and 4 persons were correct. So I think so. There is change some the ranking, but still, Preet is doing good. She's on the top. Meenakshi, then Sasti, then Shivani, and Jilam. Fine. Now next question is, what risk and challenges should be considered in the Internet of Things, Internet of Everything? So privacy and security, network congestion, energy consumption, and all of the above. Which one you think is right answer? But yes, we got 16 answers. People are very fast now. Now they are very fast. Very good. We got every answer. Okay, 20% all, and 18 persons were correct. All of the above are basically required. So again, Preet on the top, Meenakshi, then Sasti, then Uma, and then Jila. Okay, so Meenakshi has jumped back. Very good. Good. So next question is, who invented the term Internet of Things? I hope so. Everybody is going to answer it fast because that was there on the slide. Yes, move on. Yes. Even one complete slide was there with the name of this person. Still, you didn't get the complete number answer. Okay, we got 20 answers now. So the correct option is Kevin Ashton, and 15 persons were correct. Very good. Again, Preet on the top, then Sasti came into the second position, then Meenakshi, Jilam, and Uma. Very good, very good. And this is the last question. What is the name of first recognized IoT device? And I have the picture. Thanks, because this is the last question of the page. So radio, smartwatch, ATM, video game. Which one is not recognized as IoT device? What is the name of first recognized IoT device? And 8 people, only one person is correct. That is ATM. Oh. Okay, I think so. The things are changing. So now we have the top 3. On third position, there is the Meenakshi. In second, we have Sasti, and on the top, we have, yes, Preet. Congratulations to all of you. Preet, Sasti, and Meenakshi. You are the top achievers of this quiz. So from this point, we are going to end up the things. So if you have any query, you are most welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
Glad. Good afternoon, sir. It is audible?
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you.
Yeah, participants can ask question, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Sharma, sir.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you.
Sharma, sir, it is audible?
Yes, Sasti, आप बताइए.
Yeah, sir. We really thank you for this wonderful session, sir. Actually, it is thought-provoking. Actually, we can able to get more information through your session, actually. And the Kahoot session was really good, actually.
Thank you, Sasti. Thank you.
It makes
Thank you
us
so
to
much.
involve a lot, actually. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for your kind wishes and words. If you have still any query, any question, you are most welcome.
So, Sharma sir,
Yes, Gaurav ji.
sir, thanks you a lot for such a wonderful presentation and so much to know about the Internet of Things in the healthcare system. You have told us that it is useful for any place connection, anytime connection, anything connection. And nowadays, actually, what we feel that there are literally we are using various sensors, okay, which are basically the theme for this IoT in the medical science. And I hope that everybody who have participated and they will definitely get the benefit. They can explore more and more in the IoT in terms of medical science. And I hope that this will definitely give a long-term benefit for all of the participants. Thank you very much, sir. Such a wonderful session and such entertaining also. So I am really thankful for you for joining us.
Thank you, Gaurav ji, and thank you, the organizers, for calling me for this presentation, because with the help of this presentation, I interacted with you people, and I hope you all are good in your domain. And thank you for listening me, bearing me, and thank you for appreciating me also. So yes,
Thank you.
I got one question from Spreet. Can you please share the PPT? Yes, I will share my PPT in the PDF format with the Pankaj ji, and you can collect from the organizers. Shalini is also having the same question, so you can collect from the organizers. I will surely share the PPT. And thank you everybody for the session, for listening and for understanding. So I hope so. Best of luck to everybody. Thank you all. Take care.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
So we will join at 2:30 for the session third. So please be there.